Hi, welcome to the Crafts channel. My name's Corinne Bradd and today I've got a great sewing project for you. Doesn't use very much fabric at all, but you can make yourself a very simple pouch for easily storing your cutlery or pencils. And it's simply made from 2 pieces of fabric and a tie. So here's the pencil case here. And you can get quite a few pencils in there. They'll just gather up and they're held in by these ends that are stitched in. So I'll put a template in the description below, as usual. First of all, what you'll need to do is make yourself the wrapping strap. So this is about 28 centimetres by about 5 centimetres. And I'm just going to sew this right sides together. Put a pin in there because what I normally do is start at one end and then turn it out from the end. But because I'm going to attach this later, I don't want any raw edges. So, start in the middle of your strap. And with about a 5mm seam allowance. Sew down to the end, leave the needle in, lift your foot and pivot it, and sew across the bottom. And then simply flip it over. And if you leave yourself about a 2 centimetre gap between the end of your last seam and the beginning of your next one, and do exactly the same thing. And then grab yourself a piping turner, pop it into the gap in the centre of that strap and hook it on. Go in and go in the other direction to grab the other end of the strap. And then just push out the corners of your seam, which I probably should have clipped the corners first before I did this if I'd actually had any common sense. And then if you finger press your strap for now, because we'll give it all a good press in a minute. What then happens is that gap that you've got in the centre, to be honest, is barely visible. You can slip stitch it closed, but it's so small it's probably not going to make any difference. Then what you need to do is you need to get your 2 fabric pieces, place them right sides together, and we're going to sew all the way around it, just leaving a gap in this bottom edge. I am, for a change, actually going to pin my fabric pieces. And you don't need to leave an enormous gap because it's just 2 layers of cotton. They're not that thick. And then back along that bottom edge. Finger press the seam allowance on either side of the gap. And just lightly tack it in place with a bit of glue. Do the same on the other side. And then clip your corners. And turn the whole thing the right way round. Carefully push out your corners with quite a large knitting needle. Now what I am going to do is just press this. I never used to press anything. I was the world's laziest stitcher. And it doesn't matter whether you're hobby sewing or doing stuff for home decor or you're dressmaking. Pressing and setting those seams makes such a difference to the end result of your work. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to top stitch around the top, sort of like sides and roof part of the house shape. So again, just pop it in your machine. I'll move my needle over to the right a little bit. If you put your little pouch on a gridded cutting mat, or if you don't have a gridded cutting mat, if you've used the template that I shall put in the download, you can simply fold it, fold the ends of your house shape in and pin them there. And this template can be easily resized to fit the length of your pencils or your cutlery, or if you want to make a really big one because you've got loads of stuff you need to pop in there. And then all you're going to do is sew right along this bottom edge, and at the same time closing up that turning gap that's already been neatly hemmed for you before you turned it inside out, or outside out even. We just do this one. I think that banging sound is a sure sign that I possibly need to change my sewing needle. We'll do that in a minute. Another press. And then the final piece of this is to take your strap, position it on the outside of your case. That little corner out there. A box pattern, and by a box pattern I mean you sew down, you sew diagonally, you sew down, you sew diagonally, you go across, back down, back up, back across. I haven't explained that well. But it does provide a very sturdy, secure fastening. So I've sewn across, and now I'm going to turn the work diagonally and sew down to that bottom corner. And then turn it back again and sew across the bottom. Turn it again diagonally to go up to the opposite corner. Just trim that off. And then sew down the edge, back across the bottom, back up that last remaining edge. Oh, and then back across the top before reversing your stitches to lock it. And there you go. So you can grab your pencils, tuck them in there. They're held fairly secure if it should come undone. I mean, it's not fairly secure at all. If you shake that enough, they will obviously fall out of it. But they will hold without rolling all over your desk. But they're very easy to get out. And then when it's time to pack them away, simply roll it up, take your strap, wrap it round, and just tuck it under to hold it closed. There you go. So I hope you liked that demonstration. I hope you'll come back again and see us soon, see some more of the things that we like to make here on the Crafts channel. Till we see you again, please keep safe and thank you very much for watching. If you've been inspired to create, please share your makes with us in the comments section below. And if you've enjoyed videos by the Crafts channel, hit the like button. Want to see more of us? Then click subscribe. See you next time.